chosen one, listen closely. Something extraordinary is shifting in your life, and it has everything to do with how the universe views your value. This video isn't just a collection of words, it's a mirror reflecting what's about to awaken in you. You've spent far too long chasing, seeking, striving. But now, the energy is different. Something fundamental has reversed. Money, the very force you've been conditioned to pursue, is finally turning around. It's looking for you. It's calling your name in ways you haven't yet recognized. And it's not just loose change or small miracles. It's waves, tides, and streams of abundance that are being magnetized to your presence. Watch this video until the very end. Let every word plant a seed, a spark, a vibration that speaks directly to your soul. And if you feel this truth awakening in you, type your warmest wishes and 77 in the comments. That simple act isn't just participation, it's declaration. You're telling the universe, I'm ready now. Your wishes are not far away. They are orbiting closer than ever. Let this moment be the one where you align with that energy and declare it boldly. Now, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and let's dive deeper. Now feel this deeply. You were never born to chase. You were born to attract. For too long, you've been trying to prove your worth in a system that was built to overlook your light. But that system is crumbling. The old ways of scarcity, of lack, of being unnoticed, they are collapsing like sandcastles in a rising tide. What's rising now is you. And with you rises a new flow of wealth. Not because you begged for it, but because you've become a match to it. Money is not just currency, it is energy. It's a vibration that seeks harmony with its perfect counterpart. And chosen one, that perfect counterpart is now you. You've done the internal work, consciously or unconsciously. You've released what no longer serves you. And whether you've noticed it or not, every decision you've made to move in truth, to walk in your authenticity, has created ripples that now return to you as reward. There's a reason things felt so blocked before. You were operating in a frequency that didn't match the abundance waiting for you. But that's no longer your reality. You're not in survival mode anymore. You are entering reception mode. Money is no longer behind a locked door. It's circling around, knocking, ready to enter through every opening of belief you allow. The shift is internal, before it's external. And it's already begun. You've felt it. Those nudges, those ideas, those synchronicities that feel too precise to ignore. That's the energy of money locating you, tuning into your vibration like a beacon. You are not invisible to it. In fact, you are its mission now. It's looking for places to land, to bless, to expand. And you, chosen one, are one of the few bold enough to receive it without guilt. Let go of the old programming. Release the stories that told you wealth is reserved for others, or that money is the root of all evil, or that you have to break yourself to earn it. These are illusions crafted by those who feared the power of the awakened. But now, that power is yours, and with it comes freedom. Financial freedom, creative freedom, emotional freedom, the kind of abundance that touches every corner of your life and transforms everything it reaches. You are not behind, you are not late, you are right on time for this divine reversal. What once ran from you is now being sent to you, not as a trickle, but as a flood. Money is seeking you with urgency, because your energy now holds what it craves: certainty, clarity, truth. And the more you stand in that, the more magnetic you become. There is nothing you need to fix to receive this. There is nothing broken in you. You are not incomplete. The universe does not make mistakes, and you were always meant to be a receiver of wealth, not merely a witness to it. Your destiny has always been intertwined with divine prosperity. You are just now remembering. Let this be the moment you no longer question your worthiness. Let this be the moment you recognize the wealth you carry in your soul. You are not here to struggle forever. You are not here to earn love or safety or validation through hardship. You are here to embody the light and watch as the material world rearranges itself around your truth. Money hears you now. Every time you act from courage, it notices. Every time you show up for yourself, it listens. Every time you speak from alignment, it moves closer. You're building a new relationship with abundance, one built on trust, not fear, on ease, not desperation, on truth, not compromise. So take a deep breath. Let your nervous system know that the danger has passed, that the war is over, that the battlefield of survival is behind you. You are stepping into your role as a vessel of wealth, and the more you align with peace, with purpose, with presence, the more doors will fly open without force. This is only the beginning. What's coming next will require boldness. You will be asked to receive more than you ever imagined, to make decisions from power, not panic, to say yes to opportunities that once scared you. But know this, you will be ready, because everything that's arriving is a reflection of who you've already become. You didn't imagine this shift. It's real, and it's not just a lucky coincidence. It's a divine orchestration. The universe is not random, and neither are the events that are now unfolding around you. Money has felt your frequency changing. It has sensed your silence becoming more powerful than noise, your patience becoming more magnetic than pursuit. It has felt the soft fire within you that refuses to be extinguished no matter how hard the world tried. There's a reason you've been tested so intensely. You had to become someone that money doesn't just visit, but stays with. You had to prove to your own spirit that you could be trusted with abundance, that your intentions were pure, your foundation was solid, and your heart remained open. That's why nothing worked the way it should have before. It wasn't time, but it is now. The chase is over, and your energy no longer smells of desperation. It carries confidence. You're not stretching to reach for success anymore. You're watching as it folds toward you, recognizing you as its rightful mirror. This reversal of the current didn't happen overnight. It happened over every quiet night you kept believing, over every tear you turned into strength, over every rejection you alchemized into redirection. And now, money is responding. It's not just in your future, it's moving in your direction. It's reshaping paths and unlocking doors in your name. It's appearing in sudden calls, unexpected opportunities, once-in-a-lifetime moments that feel like dreams but are actually answers. Answers to questions you once whispered when you thought no one was listening. It's listening now. It's been listening all along. But now, the echoes of your alignment are loud enough to command action. Not in arrogance, but in knowing. Not in force, but in faith. That's what makes you different from those who only chase. You've grown roots while others grew in patience. And that grounded strength is exactly what wealth is looking for. Money is no longer interested in performers. It seeks peace. It seeks purpose. It seeks those who don't need it to prove their worth, but who are willing to use it to elevate everything around them. You are becoming a sanctuary for abundance, a safe house for overflow, a home for prosperity to live and multiply. Look around. Life is already adjusting to match your readiness. You'll begin to notice it in the smallest signs. A conversation that leads to an offer, a cancellation that makes room for a better invitation, a chance meeting that feels anything but random. This is how money begins its journey toward those it wants to reward. Not through logic, but through alignment. You won't need to hustle the same way you did before. That season of overcompensating, overthinking, and overdoing is ending. What begins now is the season of allowing, of stepping into rooms already prepared for you, of receiving without apology. That doesn't mean you'll stop taking action. It means the action will feel right, rich, and revitalizing. It won't drain you. It will ignite you. Chosen one, feel this truth in your bones. Money is not a reward for pain. It's a match for presence. You're not being compensated for suffering. You're being recognized for the energetic clarity you now carry. That is why the opportunities ahead of you will feel different. They won't ask you to compromise your soul. They'll ask you to expand it. You'll start to notice that money is no longer scarce. It's selective. It's choosing you because you've finally chosen yourself. It's attracted to the way you walk now, with quiet certainty instead of loud proving. It's drawn to your vibration because it matches the flow of creation itself. You are no longer leaking energy into people, places, or paths that drain you. You are holding your frequency high, and in doing so, calling in everything that once seemed far. There will be moments ahead where the old version of you wants to panic, to return to old patterns, to run back to familiar struggle. Don't. Breathe through the transition. Remember who you are now. Remember how far you've come, not just in action, but in embodiment. You are no longer reacting to the world. You are commanding your place in it. And that changes everything. Because when you shift from asking for permission to simply being the permission, life reconfigures itself. Money starts to flow differently. Opportunities become magnetic. People begin to see something in you that even you hadn't fully claimed yet. That's what happens when you stop chasing and start standing still in your power. Chosen one, the river is turning. The tide is reversing. You are no longer the seeker. You are the signal, the lighthouse, the landmark, the one wealth looks for when it's ready to do something real. And now, it is. This energy doesn't care about your past bank statements, your past failures, or your past beliefs. It's responding to your current vibration. So keep rising, keep refining, keep remembering. You are not just the recipient, you are the reason. And the more you trust that, the faster the flow comes. You won't have to push. You won't have to beg. You will just need to be ready. Because what's looking for you now is bigger than anything you've ever chased. You're being found, not because you shouted the loudest, but because you finally became quiet enough inside to be seen. You've stopped vibrating with the panic of lack, and now you're pulsing with the stillness of truth. That's why the energy of money is moving now. Not chaotically, not randomly, but with direction, with certainty. It's tracing the path of your clarity and following the trail of your authenticity. The game changed when you stopped acting like money was above you. It never was. The only reason it felt so distant was because you believed it had something you didn't. But you've awakened now. You've remembered that value doesn't begin with numbers. It begins with presence. You've stopped trying to be worthy and started being aware, and awareness attracts abundance like a magnet. Gone are the days where you measure your worth in output. Gone are the cycles of burnout dressed up as ambition. What's rising now is a way of living that is balanced, intelligent, guided. Money is not a prize. It's a participant. It is responding to your evolution, and not just in ways you'll see in your bank account, but in the way your reality rearranges to meet you where you are. That's why so much had to fall apart. That's why doors closed, relationships ended, jobs dissolved, plans collapsed. Not as punishment, but as preparation. You needed space, room to rise, space to step into the vibration of someone who doesn't chase, but attracts. Space to become a calm conductor of overflow. You didn't lose everything. You lost what couldn't carry you where you're going. And now, the real support is coming in. Resources, people, ideas, favor. All of it is orchestrated to meet the version of you who's no longer hiding behind fear. This version of you moves with grace, speaks with knowing, and walks with invisible wings. Money can feel that now. It's no longer confused. It's no longer detouring around you. It's arriving, and it's bringing acceleration. Suddenly, what once took years will take days. What once felt impossible will become obvious. You're stepping into the frequency of yes, not because you forced it, but because you've embodied it. Understand this deeply. Money doesn't want to fix you. It wants to amplify you. It doesn't want to replace your identity. It wants to flow through the one you've discovered. That's why authenticity is the most powerful currency you possess. The more real you become, the more wealth you attract. This is the era where money chases purpose. And chosen one, your purpose shines now. It's not vague, it's not buried, it's visible to the energies that matter. You may not see all the evidence yet, but the vibration is there. And the vibration always leads. That's how you know it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of timing. And timing for you is starting to speed up. That's why you've been feeling restless lately. Not anxious, but alert. You can sense the turn, the invisible alignment, the preparation. Your intuition is waking you earlier. Your thoughts are clearer. Your decisions are sharper. That's not coincidence. That's alignment. That's wealth tuning itself to your pace. And yes, there may still be moments where the old voice returns, the one that questions, doubts, hesitates. Let it pass. Don't fight it. Just don't follow it. You're not who you used to be, and that voice doesn't belong in your new chapter. You don't owe the past your presence anymore. You owe the future your focus. Start listening to the signals now. They're subtle, but steady. A conversation that drops an unexpected idea. A post that suddenly feels like it was written for you. A delay that leads to divine redirection. These aren't small things. These are the breadcrumbs wealth leaves when it's on its way to you. Pay attention to what feels light, what feels like expansion, what opens you. That's where money is heading, because it wants to find you in your joy, not your exhaustion. It wants to flow into your life through ease, not pressure, through readiness, not resentment. That's the difference now. You are no longer begging for more. You are preparing to receive more. There is power in that shift. It's energetic, it's spiritual, it's magnetic, and most of all, it's sustainable. Because when money finds you through alignment, it stays. It doesn't come to test you. It comes to grow with you. It becomes a tool, not a taskmaster, a multiplier, not a master. Chosen one, you are being positioned, not punished. Everything that felt delayed was simply being calibrated. And now that you've said yes with your energy, not just your words, the doors are opening. This is the difference between desire and embodiment. You've crossed the threshold. You're not hoping anymore. You're walking in it. So trust the unfolding. Trust the whispers. Trust the timing. This isn't a fluke. This is your flow. You've shifted from, how can I get more, to how can I hold more? And that shift changes everything. Because now, the universe sees you as capable, not just of wealth, but of sustaining it, growing it, elevating it into something sacred. You've stopped viewing money as a savior. You've started seeing it as a partner. And that partnership is what activates miracles. It's what opens the way for divine compensation, for effortless opportunity, for sudden upgrades. That's not just motivation, that's manifestation. This is your wealth era. This is your attraction chapter. This is the moment money stops running and starts arriving. And it will arrive in forms your past couldn't even imagine. You've passed the invisible test, and that's why money is behaving differently around you now. It used to hesitate. It used to check to see if your energy was still rooted in fear. But something in you has changed so completely that the hesitation is gone. Money isn't scouting anymore, it's committed. It's choosing you, fully. And it's not just showing up as numbers or income, it's showing up as space, as freedom, as new thoughts you didn't have access to before, as clarity where there used to be noise. This is how wealth starts to fill the corners of your life, not just by giving you what you want, but by transforming who you are when you wake up in the morning. You used to wonder what would happen if abundance came. Now you wonder what to do with all that's arriving. You've stepped into that reversal, that beautiful flip in energy where money no longer holds the power. It flows through the power you've cultivated. This is the part where life starts whispering your name to the right people, the right systems, the right doors. And when those doors open, they won't ask for proof of your value. They'll assume it, because your energy will already speak louder than any words or qualifications ever could. You are the proof now. Your being is the strategy. Your presence is the offer. And the universe is orchestrating every encounter to meet you where you already exist, not where you used to beg to be. Gone are the days of survival-based ambition. You're not trying to escape lack anymore. You're creating from overflow. That shift in energy is what's allowing money to show up on its own terms, in its own timing, with more than you imagined. Not because you need rescuing, but because you've built a foundation that can hold more without crumbling. You've stopped hustling for attention and started magnetizing what's aligned. You no longer ask, "Am I doing enough?" You ask, "Am I being in alignment?" And in that alignment, there is no force, only flow, no begging, only beckoning. This is what it feels like when money finds peace in your presence. It no longer needs to run from hand to hand. It can rest, it can multiply, it can build. This is what you've become, chosen one, a builder, not just of wealth, but of energy structures that hold legacy. Your decisions are no longer short-term transactions. They're long-term investments. You aren't chasing quick wins. You're becoming the source of continuous growth. And money can feel that maturity. It can feel that wisdom. It trusts you now. That's why opportunities feel different. They're not stressful anymore. They're clean. They're empowering. They invite the best version of you instead of draining what's left. You are attracting clients, collaborators, connections, not because you need them, but because your energy makes them feel like they need you. Money chases impact now, and you've become impact incarnate. It's not about being loud, it's about being undeniable. It's not about proving, it's about embodying. And you embody someone who cannot be overlooked anymore. You've stopped hiding, you've stopped shrinking. And because of that, your presence calls to the frequencies that build empires. You are no longer looking at life from the ground up. You're watching the patterns from above. You see where energy flows and where it gets stuck. You can sense opportunity not by logic, but by vibration. You don't wait for signs, you are the sign. and wealth responds accordingly. The more still you become, the more the world moves around you. You've learned the secret. Movement doesn't mean running in circles. It means alignment. It means standing firm and letting life orbit around your centeredness. That's the magnetism you've developed. It's quiet, but it's loud in the realms that matter. Even when nothing appears different on the surface, the field around you is working in your favor. Conversations you're not aware of are happening in rooms you've never stepped into, but your name is there. Your energy introduced you before your body arrived. This is how money begins to move without your effort, because your essence is already doing the work. You are no longer a hunter. You are a light tower. The more you illuminate, the more ships come to dock, not out of desperation, but because they recognize your stability, because they feel safe in your harbor. And that safety is priceless. It's what turns one-time payments into streams. It's what turns one opportunity into doors upon doors upon doors. You're in the flow now, not the fight. And yes, it might feel strange at first, to receive without stress, to grow without fear. But don't let the old habits of struggle steal your peace. You don't need adrenaline to create results anymore. You need awareness. You need alignment. You need permission from no one but yourself. Remember this: money is intelligent. It doesn't just follow energy, it reads it. And it's reading you now as someone who has crossed into sovereignty. Someone who no longer waits to be chosen, but knows they are already selected by design. This inner knowing is your wealth code. This belief is your bank. You are no longer a beggar at the door of abundance. You are the door. Others will come to you and not even know why they feel pulled. They'll call you lucky. They'll say something about you just feels right. But you'll know. You'll remember the fire you walked through, the work you did in silence, the decisions you made when no one believed. That's what made the difference. Not a shortcut, not a secret, just relentless inner work, quiet revolutions, sacred boundaries. And now, because of that, money has no choice but to respond. It is loyal to energy, and your energy, chosen one, has become irresistible to wealth. So let it come, let it build, let it grow. Stop doubting the flood just because you lived in a drought. Stop questioning the miracle just because you were trained in struggle. You are not the same. The world is not the same. You are tuned now. And what's coming will feel like a symphony of answered prayers. You've become a portal, not a path. Money doesn't arrive to you by conventional routes anymore. It's being rerouted by the universe's design. This isn't just financial flow. It's energetic authority. And when you walk in this kind of alignment, you stop reacting to scarcity and start directing abundance. Your frequency is no longer one of seeking, it's one of anchoring. Wealth can land now because you've cleared the chaos. You've built inner stillness where there used to be mental noise. Money doesn't want to fight its way in. It wants a sanctuary. And that's exactly what you've created within yourself. This is why things that once took years are now arriving in days. Why opportunities that seemed impossible are now being handed to you without you asking. Not because the rules changed, but because your energy finally stopped resisting the outcome. You're not resisting anymore. You're receiving. You're allowing. And the more you allow, the more the universe mirrors that trust. Your surrender has become your strategy. Your openness has become your blueprint. And money, pure, intelligent, energetic money, is responding to the peace you've cultivated. There's no more need to perform for your worth. You don't need to convince anyone anymore. Money doesn't need to be earned with suffering. That illusion has fallen away. Now it's about resonance. Now it's about embodiment. And the more you align, the more you attract. Not by effort, but by essence. This is what happens when a chosen one stops chasing outcomes and starts becoming the frequency. You're not a dreamer anymore. You're a receiver. You're not living in hope. You're living in knowing. And knowing is what makes money feel safe to come close, to stay, to expand. You see, money has always been a mirror. When you ran from yourself, it ran from you. When you tried to force it, it became slippery. When you were desperate, it scattered. But when you chose calm, it circled back. When you chose faith, it settled. And when you chose truth, it stayed. You are that truth now. Not an idea of success, but the embodiment of value. Not a seeker of wealth, but a vessel for its purpose. Because wealth doesn't just want to exist, it wants to serve. And you have proven you're ready to be a guardian of that service. You've shown you can hold more without breaking. That's why more is coming. You're not here to hoard money. You're here to direct it. You're not here to flash wealth. You're here to channel it into change. And because of that clarity, the universe is making sure you never have to beg again. You don't even need to ask loudly. Your energy is the ask. Your vibration is the command. You've made peace with your power, and that peace has created a gravitational pull around you. Money doesn't want to leave when it reaches you anymore. It wants to expand with you. It wants to grow inside your care, your vision, your grounded strength. And it will, because nothing is stopping it now. The timelines you thought were far off are arriving early, not because of luck, but because you became who you were always meant to be. You stopped doubting. You started deciding. You stopped hoping. You started being. That's the formula. That's the code. Even when others don't understand how you're doing it, they'll feel the shift. They'll call it mysterious, but it's not. It's just energy finally flowing in the direction of truth. You are no longer pushing against the current. You are the current. And money follows currents. Let others chase the illusion of wealth. Let others worship grind and burnout. You found something deeper, something quieter, and infinitely more powerful. You've found the truth that says, you don't need to catch money because it's already on its way. You've stepped into inevitability, into magnetism, into divine timing that bends the rules in your favor. This is what it means to be the chosen one. Not that you are better than others, but that you are aligned with your divine pattern. And when that pattern is unlocked, life must deliver. The universe doesn't withhold. It aligns. And you, finally, are in alignment. You used to feel like life was just out of reach, like wealth was teasing you, like abundance belonged to other people. But now, you walk with the calm assurance of someone who no longer begs for what is already theirs. You don't chase, because you are the arrival point. And what does money do when it finds a destination it can trust? It stays, it multiplies, it opens new doors you didn't even know existed. That's what's happening now. Behind the scenes, within the vibrations, the doors are creaking open, the floodgates are preparing. You won't even need to knock. They're unlocking from the inside, because they recognize you, because the code has already been input through your energy. Everything that once resisted you is beginning to turn, not because you shouted louder, but because your silence became more powerful than the noise. This is your wealth season, and it's only just beginning. You've come all this way, and look at you now. Not the version of you that tried to survive. This is the version that is destined to thrive. You're no longer walking into rooms with doubt in your chest. You enter with a quiet knowing that abundance is already en route. You don't ask if, you trust when. Money no longer sees you as temporary. It recognizes that you've become a home, not a holding tank, a structure strong enough to sustain overflow without fear of collapse. You've stopped playing small in conversations. You've stopped shrinking in your own decisions. Now, your life is reflecting the expansion you finally accepted. Everything changed when you realized you didn't have to find money. It was already looking for you. The shift wasn't in your effort, it was in your energy. And that shift sent out a signal into the unseen, into the systems, into the frequencies that govern how opportunities move. You flipped the current, you flipped the game. Now, you are the magnet. You are the moment. You are the one people remember after you speak. You are the one offers gravitate toward before you even finish your sentence. And you no longer question whether you're worthy. You know you are. And because of that, life responds accordingly. You're not playing on the edge anymore. You're in the center of your power, fully in, fully present. And from this place, you don't chase anything. You attract everything that was already designed to be yours. The waiting is over. The resistance is done. And now, it's happening. Clients, contracts, collaborations, watch how they come, not just because of what you do, but because of who you've become. You've become easy to say yes to. You've become a portal to clarity. You've become the answer to someone else's search. And money, it can feel that. You've made it safe for wealth to sit with you. You've made it exciting for success to build around you. You've stopped doubting the pace and started trusting the process. And because of that, acceleration has become normal. Ease has become your new foundation. No more self-sabotage. No more second-guessing. No more needing others to validate your vision. You are standing where only a few dare to stand, with both feet planted in your purpose. And when purpose is clear, money doesn't need convincing. It arrives already loyal. You've learned what most never do, that wealth isn't about force, it's about frequency. It's not about chasing the next thing, it's about becoming the thing. And you've become it. You've become the version of yourself that life has no choice but to reward. Let them wonder how you did it. Let them ask what your secret is. Let them analyze the numbers, the timing, the algorithms. What they'll never be able to replicate is your vibration, because that came from your pain, from your persistence, from your private, invisible healing. They didn't see the nights you stayed up, reprogramming your beliefs. They didn't witness the moment you refused to settle for crumbs. They don't know the exact second your soul stood up and said, "No more." But the universe saw it, and the universe never forgets that kind of courage. That's why the miracles look inevitable now, because they are. You've crossed the threshold. You're not just another person in the crowd. You are the frequency. You are the light that draws provision towards you like gravity. You are the signal wealth has been waiting for. And money, it's already in motion. You're not starting the journey. You're already in the middle of it. It's already circling closer. New levels of abundance, of opportunity, of liberation. They're on their way because you are finally standing still long enough for them to catch up. This isn't luck. This is law. This is alignment. This is what happens when you stop pretending and start embodying the truth of who you really are. A receiver, a generator, a leader of energy, a living affirmation of wealth itself. Chosen one, your life is about to be unrecognizable, not because of what you accomplish, but because of what starts happening without your constant effort. The favor that follows you will make sense only to those who understand frequency. The overflow that surrounds you will look strange to those who are still in survival mode. And that's okay, Because you didn't come to blend in. You came to lead. Your silence will speak louder than your words. Your peace will become more contagious than your presence. And the money that shows up, it won't just be for spending. It'll be for building, for anchoring, for legacy. Because you didn't just become abundant. You became responsible with abundance. You didn't just welcome wealth. You earned its trust. The doors that once stayed shut are now unlocking at the sound of your presence. The rooms that once overlooked you now can't stop watching. The people who once underestimated you will soon find themselves inspired by your resilience. But none of that matters as much as this. You finally stopped doubting yourself. And that alone changes everything. This is not a phase. This is not a one-time breakthrough. This is your new frequency. This is what it means to finally be ready. Not desperate, not impatient, ready. And when you're ready, the universe releases what's already yours. There's something sacred about no longer running, no longer sprinting after your dreams, gasping for breath, thinking that worth must be earned through exhaustion. You've stepped beyond that now. You're no longer a chaser. You are the destination. And because of that, the very rules around you are bending. This is the phase where money finds you in unexpected ways. The call you weren't expecting, the email you didn't initiate, the introduction that leads to overflow. These things are not coincidences. They are confirmations. They are the universe nodding back to your vibration with a smile that says, "You finally remembered who you are." What used to be far-fetched is now normal. What once needed 10 steps now arrives in one. Not because the world changed, but because you did. You finally stopped hiding the truth of your own power. You stopped shrinking your voice to fit the comfort of others. And in that moment, when you claimed all of you, the energy shifted permanently. You became the answer. That's what money responds to. Not desperation, not control, but embodiment. The moment you owned your vision without apology, the money began its journey toward you, not with hesitation, but with acceleration. And now that it's here, can you feel the difference? It doesn't feel like a miracle anymore. It feels natural. It feels earned. It feels inevitable. Because deep down, you knew this day would come. The day when you no longer had to explain your value, because your value became visible, tangible, undeniable. You've become magnetic, not just for money, but for alignment. You're not collecting coins. You're attracting currents. Currents of support, currents of visibility, currents of power. And as they converge, you realize something even deeper. You never needed to chase anything, because everything is coded to find you when you step into your full expression. This is why money is no longer avoiding you, it's orbiting you, because you stopped making yourself hard to find. You stopped speaking in disclaimers. You stopped asking for permission. You started speaking with the weight of someone who knows, and that knowing changes everything. Even when you rest now, momentum continues, because you've built an energetic infrastructure that doesn't collapse when you pause. That's wealth, not just money in the bank, but money that understands your rhythm. Money that multiplies while you sleep. Money that doesn't require burnout as an offering. You have, through sheer inner evolution, broken the contract that said, "I must suffer to succeed." That contract is null. That story is over. Now you write in a new language. I allow myself to receive without resistance. I let money come home to me. And it will. It already is. This is the point where your presence alone becomes profitable. Not because of manipulation, but because of integrity. You've aligned your energy with your actions. You've matched your beliefs with your behavior. And money, real money, sustainable money, always flows toward that kind of harmony. You're not here to fight your way into wealth. You're here to remember that wealth is already tied to your name. The only question was whether you'd believe it long enough to receive it. And now you do. You're no longer attached to the old identity that needed to prove itself. That identity has retired, and in its place stands someone calm, deliberate, and confident. Someone who doesn't plead for opportunities, but curates them. Someone who doesn't wait for permission, but creates movement. You are now the event that causes ripple effects. You are the moment that turns into momentum. You are the person people remember after a single encounter, not because you tried hard to impress, but because your energy did the talking. And when your energy does the talking, money listens. You've become a safe haven for wealth, a landing zone for abundance. And you no longer have to script your success. It unfolds naturally, because when you're in alignment, life rushes to meet you halfway. Then it pushes you further than you ever thought possible. You've turned the tide. So now, let this be your new baseline. Ease, not effort. Flow, not friction. Trust, not tension. You've earned this not through exhaustion, but through expansion. Through finally believing the universe was never holding anything back. It was only waiting for you to stop hiding. Now that you've stopped, watch what happens next.